Welcome to the best thing since sliced bread, and welcome to PTV. I am your host with the most hot like buttered toast and British like a roast. The P to the Y to the R to the O. It is your boy Pyro. It's PTV. It's Musical Mondays because it's totally Monday. And I am here joined today by my guest, by my friend and producer, Wayne Miller. Say hi, Wayne.
Hello. Good to be here.
How the devil are you doing, buddy? It's been a while.
Doing great. The sun is shining. It's supposed to be June gloom in Los Angeles, but it's not gloomy. The heat wave is upon us. Life is good. Lots of music is being made, and yeah, can't complain.
That's what I like to hear. So we're here for Musical Mondays, which means we're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about life, and then we're going to shut the fuck up and listen to some music. Then we're going to discuss it. This week, we're going to do something a little bit different because I'm aware that your time is very precious, so we've got a bit of a shorter episode. And this week, we are going to check out the phenomenon that is one-hit wonders. So we are going to look at some of the one-hit wonders over the last, well, from the 70s through to the early 2000s. And yes, see what we think and discuss it. But before we get into any of that, we have our weekly topics. So let's kick things off with musical memories. Wayne, what are some of your earliest memories of listening to music?
Yeah, it was probably, strangely enough, maybe not strange, but my dad was really into Weather Report, which is like, this fusion group, famously had like Jaco Pastorius, and I'm a bass player, was a bass player. So as a kid, there was a lot of like jazz and a lot of that kind of stuff going on, which was really cool. Like not as much mainstream kind of radio stuff. And it was more like, yeah, that kind of instrumental stuff. And so I always kind of now, knowing what I know now, I'm like, that's cool that my folks were into some like heavier stuff, kind of got me on the train to like a little, and then a lot of vocal stuff. My mom and dad met in like a vocal group. So there was a lot of like take six, like a cappella, like really intricate vocal harmony stuff. So nice. Yeah.
Is there like a song that springs to mind that's like one of the first things you can remember hearing and like getting your attention when you were little?
Oh, that's a great question. Song that springs to mind. Oh, that's tough. I remember when I was probably like, I don't know if I was maybe 9 or something, maybe even younger, maybe like somewhere between 7 and 9. My aunt took me to see Kenny Loggins.
Yes.
And so Footloose was like, so catchy.
Now I gotta cut loose, foot loose, kick off the Sunday shoes. Please, Louise, pull me up on my knees. Jack, get back, come on before we crack. Lose, your news, everybody cut foot loose.
Obviously massively successful, but I remember we went to the local fairgrounds and Kenny Loggins played, and Footloose was, everybody lost their shit. So
awesome.
That was cool. Yeah.
The Footloose is one that can get you up and bouncing around, and I think that takes us nicely into our second topic, being musical moods. So if you're having a bit of a shitty day, what's a song that you'd throw on to like lighten your day up and brighten your mood?
It's funny because when you mentioned this idea, I was like, I think I reach for stuff that's like pretty moody, and I listen to like sad stuff, which tends to make me happy. So I'll listen to like some Frank Ocean or some like Porches or something that's like vibey and moody, maybe some Tame Impala or something. To kind of like, I don't know, it's sort of like I can sort of go, oh, they get, like, whoever this artist is gets this melancholy vibe I'm in. They made some music that sort of expresses that, and then I can sort of like get over myself. I can like listen to a couple of Frank Ocean songs and be like, boo-hoo, and then be like, all right.
So on to the next. With Frank Ocean, what would be a track that kind of jumps out at the top of that list to the forefront of your mind?
There's a song. Yeah, there's a song called "Provider" that was released as a single a couple of years ago, and that song, it's just cool musically. Like the beat switches up halfway through. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a journey, and it's just like a vibe. It's just like a vibe, you know.
You had you some birthdays, could you prove it? Show me the wisdom in your movement. Show me some wisdom in your movement. Feeling you provide, feeling you provide. I know, feelings I know.
And there'll be a clip of that playing there somewhere.
Amazing.
So at the other end of the spectrum, if you're having an absolute rager of a day, what's something you kind of vent to then?
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine, man.
Yes.
Rage is like, I went to Amoeba, the new Amoeba shop opened down the street from me here, and I went there last weekend and bought Battle of Los Angeles on vinyl because I've never owned it on vinyl, and I just always love Rage, man. They're just so good.
You got some great stuff from Rage Against the Machine. I'm sure I can pick out something. And what's something that gets you hyped? What gets you pumped? What would be like the top of your playlist for your workout if you hit shuffle right now? What's likely to come on?
The track DNA by Kendrick Lamar.
You know what DNA stands for? Dead Nigger Association. Yeah.
On police brutality with that line in the song, quote, and we hate the popo, want to kill us in the street. Oh, I don't like it.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA.
I mean, that song is just so crazy. It's so intense. That last verse is just so gnarly. Like the beat gets so distorted, and it just gets so. And my friend was actually telling me, and I didn't know this story, but apparently in the studio, that beat in the last verse where it gets super crazy was going, and he just kept going. Like he just kept going, and the beat stopped, and he just kept like flowing. And apparently they like reconstructed the beat to continue with him because he just kept going. He was
on a roll.
It's just on it, man. It's just on one, and it's so intense, and it's so, I don't know, it's just a badass song. So
it's a good one. It's a good one. From musical moods, we roll into gigs and concerts. What's a favorite memory of a gig or concert you've been to in your lifetime?
Yeah, there's a couple. One was actually in 2012, I want to say. Okay. My wife and I went and saw James Blake here at the Wiltern, and it was, wow, like just sounded incredible. It just was, the low end was insane. And it was kind of one of those moments, he was already somewhat well known, but not super big. I mean, it's the Wiltern, so it's 2,500 people, but like Rick Rubin was standing like a few feet from us, and there was kind of like a who's who of people at the show, which was kind of cool. We're just like, oh, it was a very LA moment, being like, all these cool people want to be seen at this cool, but that was a great one. Like I was doing some fly dates with Mike Posner when I was touring with him a few years ago, and we played at Jones Beach in New York, and it was like a big radio show. Sheik and Nile Rodgers played, and it was like watching Nile Rodgers and Sheik was like legendary.
That's awesome.
Just like mind-blowing. So that was good. I saw Foo Fighters in like 2002.
Nice.
Or something.
Okay.
And they were like on the one by one tour, and it was it was just like you could hear like a pin drop as all the lights go down, and there's like jun, 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 jun.
All my life I've been
been searching for something, something never comes, never leads to nothing, nothing satisfies, but I'm getting close, closer to the prize at the end of the rope. All night long I dream of the day when it comes around and it's taken away, leaves me with the feeling that I feel the most, feel it come to life when I see your ghost.
You know, and it was just like, I was 17 and it was just like epic show.
That sounds awesome. Like 17, 16 as well. That's like a really young age to be getting out. Like I was probably about the same age when I went to one of my first gigs and concerts, and it was Eminem in Amsterdam.
Oh, that sounds insane.
And I mean, the concert itself was actually in Rotterdam, so we hopped on the coach on the Saturday, went over to Rotterdam for the concert, came back that night, and we didn't know there's this like kind of East Coast West Coast rivalry between Amsterdam and Rotterdam. So when Eminem D12 come out and they're like, "Yo, what's up, Amsterdam?" Like everyone from out of town's going nuts, and all the locals are just like, "Boo!" And it got like real like weird for a moment, and like you get oh shit, no, okay, it's like Rotterdam, Amsterdam's like Manchester, Liverpool rivalry going on. They're like, oh yeah,
right.
It was, but the show was brilliant.
That's amazing.
And then we all go back after the show. We get back to Amsterdam at like silly o'clock in the morning. We're in a hotel in the common room, hanging out, a bunch of us that were at the concert. And then it just turned out that like everyone was staying in the same hotel as us. So at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, in comes Exhibit, D12, Eminem, Cypress Hill, Snoop, like with just crates of beer and bin bags full of marijuana. And we're just like, we're accidentally at the after party. This is amazing. Mental. So yeah, 16, 17 years old, just off my nut in Amsterdam partying with Eminem and D12.
Wow. That's like legendary. Like you can't even like write that. You can't even make that up. That's crazy.
And like the weird thing was, I was supposed to go with a group of friends. We've been planning it for months, and it was all like, yeah, we're gonna go. We'll get our tickets and we'll do this and do that. And I'm there just like saving up money, putting it aside, like to pay for the hotel, pay off the concert tickets. And I get to about a week before we're meant to leave, and I say to the guys that I'm meant to be going with, it's like, oh, okay, so we're ready to go. I can get us a lift sorted to the airport if anyone else needs a lift. And like, what do you mean get a lift to the airport? It's like, going to Amsterdam next week? They're like, oh no, dude, we weren't able to do it. It's like, hold on, every week for the last however many months we've been talking about this trip. It's a week before, and none of you other than me have got your tickets and your hotel sorted. I was like,
wow,
well, there are two things I can do with this right now. I can go and have a holiday on my own, or I can put it in the bin. I'm not putting a holiday in the bin. So off I went.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Good for you. Wow.
And yeah, it was an absolute fucking blast. I haven't been back to Amsterdam since, sadly, and I really want to. Like when the world gets back to normal, like returning to Amsterdam for the first time in almost 16 years will be.
Yeah.
In fact, it's over
That's
that.
Wicked.
It'll be nearly 20 years by the time I get there. So yeah, it'd be mad to see how different that place is.
Oh yeah, I was there in maybe last in 2013 or something. So it's been a minute. I've been there a few times, like on tour, but I love that city. Love that city. Apple pancakes, man. They got these epic apple pancakes among all the other things.
Yeah, all the other desserts, like magic brownies.
Yeah, exactly. All the other things. People are going to watch us and be like, what the hell? He's talking about apple pancakes in Amsterdam? But like, dude, I'll tell you, those apple pancakes are amazing.
They're next level, man.
Yeah.
You know, music takes you some strange places. In fact, music brought us together via the one and only Troy Baker. We worked on the Witch Me single.
And I've stared into my own soul, and when I look therein, what should I see? But countless me's glaring back at me. The jester, the scoundrel, the teacher, the showman, the hero, the villain. You've seen them, you've known them. I've seen more than mush, yeah, I've looked at far less. I've stood tall in bright lights and then hidden darkness.
Together, which is
awesome.
It was a great process. We had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, man, we Zoomed like nearly every week for what, 2-3 months.
Something like that, yeah. You know, and to be able to put a track together via satellite. Like,
Right.
technology may hate me, but sometimes it comes through. And when it comes through, good things happen.
Yeah, that was such a cool experience. Definitely unique, and definitely like, yeah, in the height of lockdown, and for anyone wondering or didn't figure that out already, let alone the fact that clearly we're on opposite sides of the globe, but the fact that, yeah, we were able to find some sort of common ground on that musical expression was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And speaking of common ground, thanks, Troy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've been digging my heels in, digging my heels in, digging my heels in this common ground. And I've been shedding my blood, shedding my blood next to yours on this common ground.
Exactly.
Throw a clip of that somewhere. There's got to be a clip of
There
common
you
ground
go.
I can stick in. All right. That feels like a nice warm up. Are you ready to kick back and listen to some music?
Let's go, man.
Okay, so we got this list of one-hit wonders. I was going through like the full list of one-hit wonders. There were so many. And there was this massive spike in like the 60s, and we can talk about that in a little bit. But the first one we're going to go to is actually the first vinyl I ever bought with my own like allowance pocket money. It was the theme to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It's TURTLE Power. So if we click on that link, let me know when you've got it queued up and ready.
Got it ready to rock.
All right. You haven't been pestered by adverts. Oh, why are you freezing? Like, no. No, there we go.
It's perfect timing.
It is perfect timing.
Yeah,
Okay, if you're hovering above that play button, I'll count us in and we'll hit play in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go.
Then the heroes fall. In this day and age, who can ask for more? The crime wave is high, with muggings mysterious. All police and detectives are furious, cause they can't find the source of this lethally evil force. This is serious, so give me a quarter. I was a witness, give me a reporter. All April O'Neil, and on this case, and you better hurry up and don't fly in the waist. We need help like quick on the double. Have pity on the city, man, it's in trouble. We need heroes like the Lone Ranger when Tonto came pronto. When there was danger, they didn't say we'd be there in half an hour, cause they displayed turtle power. Teenage Ninja Turtles. You stand for what you believe in. Find the strength to do what's right. That's turtle power. Heroes on a half shell, they're on a mission. When there's a battle, got the enemy wishing that they stayed at home. Instead of fighting these ninja masters with moves like lightning, they were once normal, but now they're mutants. Splinters the teachers, so they are the students. Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Donatello. Round up the team with one other fellow, Raphael. He's the leader of the group, transformed from the norm by the nuclear group. Pizza's the food that's sure to please. These ninjas are into pepperoni and cheese. Now I'm feeling this chill, so you make a stand. Back to the wall, put your sword in your hand. Remember the words of your teacher, your master. Evil moves fast, but good moves faster than light. Shining for your illumination. Good versus evil equals confrontation. So when you're in trouble, don't give in and go sour. Try to rely on your triple power. Ninja Turtles. kids.
So that was Turtle Power by Partners in Crime.
Oh man, so good. It reminds me of, did you ever have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies?
No.
Like the little dessert pies.
No.
So there's like apple pies. And when I was it must have been around this time, there was a commercial for these Teenage Mutant, and they had green slime
Right.
as the filling. It was like Heroes in a Half Shell are making a surprise Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies, fresh from the sewer to you. And I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, fresh from the sewer? That sounds horrible.
You're right.
And the fact that the pie is filled with green slime, and it's like it's supposed to be from the sewer, but that commercial just ran all the time. And so whenever I think of turtles, I'm like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies, man.
Hell yeah, man. Because like this song, I must have been like 6 or 7 when this came out and when I bought it. And I'd already like heard other like hip hop and rap on the radio, but this was like the first, like I went out and bought this song with my own money. I listened to it like all the time because like when you're a kid, you listen to whatever songs you have or whatever's on the radio.
Yeah.
And this was probably like the first rap song like I ever learned to like how to, because I was like, I liked other stuff like Michael Jackson and like UB40 and like whatever my parents were listening to. But like, this was like, this was different. And it's like, ooh, and it's talking about the Ninja Turtles. And like, just memorize this as a kid. So to be like 6, 7 years old and like rapping this, it just takes me back, man.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's like in that similar vein to like the original Ghostbusters theme and stuff like that. You know, it's like my kids love that, like the Ghostbusters, the Ray Parker Jr. version. And it was like,
If you're seeing things running through your head, who can you call?
Ghostbusters!
An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Oh, who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
yeah, it's so classic. And man, those late 80s, early 90s. I remember like when Free Willy came out too, speaking of Michael Jackson, like on like I'm on the younger side obviously of the Michael Jackson, you know, thing, but that song Will You Be There and Free Willy was like, I freaking love that song. It's like, anyway, what an era.
It was a great era. So that was like 90s. Like I say, like these one-hit wonders, they've been everywhere. Like I was looking at the list, there's some that go as back as far as like the 50s, and I was like, I don't know any of these. I can't talk on this, but there was one from the 70s that popped up again a few times that I can talk on. In fact, it might have been even like 60s, and that's Carl Douglas's Kung Fu Fighting.
Ah, is it that next link too?
That'll be link 2. But yeah, there as I was going through the list, there was like a few through each year in the 50s, and then in the 60s there was this massive boom, and I was just like, I wonder why there's so many more in this kind of era of time than across the rest of the timeline.
I wonder if it's just because the like vinyl product. I wonder if just because vinyl, that's my guess. Like vinyl as a product, like started to sell so much, and the record companies were like, oh, we can make a hit with this artist, make a hit with that artist, just sell a shitload of vinyls and make money. That's my guess.
I think I think that's pretty like a good take on it, because I feel like you went from an era where like music and culture was changing, so there was less household names, so there was more room for people to just throw shit at the wall and see what stuck.
Yeah, and I imagine like I obviously know, you know, we know like technology's moved, and imagining like the earlier days, maybe people just had radios more, and there was just like however many artists on the radio. And like the 60s and 70s and 80s, everybody started having like record players, turntables,
like the home hi-fi systems and that. Yeah,
and then it's like, oh, we could buy these like 78s or these 45s, is whatever, you know. And I had an old like console record player from my wife's grandma that was like amazing, from like 1963 or something, and
awesome.
She had bought it brand new, you know. It was like in mint condition, had all the tags, and they had it delivered to their house, you know. And I had that thing forever. I finally got rid of it because it was giant and it was not practical on any level. But yeah, definitely.
Okay, have you got video 2 queued up and ready to go?
I got it ready to rock. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to count us in from 3?
All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Just straight away.
Oh, iconic.
Yeah. While this is playing, I can dig out the lists as well and double check dates and stuff.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing.
So that's Carl Douglas and Kung Fu Fighting.
Wow. I would not have been able to tell you that artist's name, to be honest. Like, I would not, if you said who was saying Kung Fu Fighting, I'd be like, I have literally no idea.
That was the thing I got with so many, like when I was going through the list, I recognized the name of the tracks way more than the artist that made them.
Yes.
Because like you can ask a bunch of people and everyone remember, like everybody wants Kung Fu Fighting. But yeah,
of course.
Who did it?
I'd never heard the bridge before. It goes to the minor. I'm like, oh, and it goes to the minor chord. I'm like, I've never heard this part of the song before.
I've done part of my job. I found something you haven't heard.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And it's just like, it's crazy and yeah, the video is obviously like hilarious. And I was just reading some of the YouTube comments just to see what people what people put in there. Everybody's like, you search for this. Someone's like, Jamaican man singing in English about people from China performing kung fu. Perfect song. It's like, yeah. None of this makes any sense.
No.
You know?
But like it was easy to see where the inspiration for Turtles came from. And with this, like if you consider this came out in 74, like this is very inspired like by that kind of kung fu era movies. Like Bruce Lee had just blown up a year or two before this dropped.
Yeah, there you go. I was thinking of Bruce Lee. I was trying to remember what movie this was in a scene. I mean, it's been in a lot of movies.
So many movies.
But it's like, what were those Jackie Chan? There was like those Jackie Chan. What's his name? Like Rush Hour. I want to say it was Rush Hour.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. That man was fast as light. So young.
Cause he's the man, perfect timing. Just like when he's kung fu fighting. Come on! Woo-cha! Sing it, girl.
Sexy kung fu fighter. Let me take you higher.
Kung fu fighters everywhere. Throw those hands in the air. The time has come to turn it out. Everybody, let me hear you shout. 1, 2, do the kung fu. 1, 2, do the kung fu. Say 3, 4 on the dance floor. 3, 4 on the dance floor. Come on, 1, 2, do the kung fu. 1, 2, do the kung fu. Say 3, 4 on the dance floor. 3, 4 on the dance floor. One more time.
Yeah,
I remember
this was probably in Rush Hour. In fact, I almost guarantee it was in Rush Hour. I can also tell you it was in Scrubs. They did an excellent skit with this in Scrubs, where Turk's trying to get like a promotion from his boss, and he knows everyone's after it, so he's getting them to do scud work, and like he's trying to help his boss carry his briefcase out, and all the other surgeons turn up in surgeon masks, and they have like this choreographed kung fu fight to this track. It's hilarious.
Since there were 12 surgical residents at Sacred Heart fighting for 4 attending spots, Turk was ass-kissing the senior staff.
Oh, damn. I left my briefcase upstairs. Excuse me a second.
Turk thought he was the only one who heard that.
Dr. Wynn! Dr. Wynn! I've got your
He was not.
I had no idea that there were that many Asian surgeons in this hospital.
I got your back, T-Dog.
Then let it begin.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little Friday, but they had been expert timing. Funky Chinaman from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them down. They were chopping them down. It's an ancient Chinese art, and everybody knew their part. Quit fooling around with those guys and get down here!
Here comes the big dog.
That's amazing. That's so good. I love it.
And we continue to move through time because our third track on the list is a good pick-me-up song. Don't worry, be happy. But Bobby McFerrin.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Amazing.
We're just gonna have a good fun time this afternoon, this evening, whatever time you want to call it.
Fantastic.
Yes. You queued up?
I'm queued.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy.
This video is incredible, man.
Right? I think this is the first time I've ever seen the video.
Same. Wow.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, don't do it. Be happy. Put a smile on your face. Don't bring everybody down like this. Don't worry. It will soon pass, whatever it is. Don't worry, be happy. I'm not worried. I'm happy.
Wow. Robin Williams, man.
Robin Williams popped up in that video. Like, how? What?
Wow. Wow. I've definitely never seen that video.
No,
That's a
neither
crazy
have I.
video. Wow. And yeah, like, man, obviously. Whew. R.I.P. Robin Williams. That's like,
totally.
What an era, too. Also, just visually, like, man, what a cool video. The little like circle, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What you call that, a little picture-in-picture
Yeah,
situation.
Yeah, picture.
Wow, like what some concepts there, man. Jeez.
I know, man. Like,
that's crazy.
Especially like the version of the video we got where it was all tidied up. Like, that looks like it could have come out way later than it. Like 1988, this track dropped. I was 3.
80. Wow. Yeah, same. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it says remastered in HD, I guess. But wow, that looks really good. Yeah, it's funny to see the clothing trend and stuff too, right? Like if someone, like I see people walking down Hollywood Boulevard wearing what Robin Williams is wearing, like,
yeah,
and it's like you know what I mean? Like it's normal. Wow,
that's such a cool video.
I didn't know that was Bobby McFerrin. Like, again, I obviously have heard the track a million times. I'm aware of Bobby McFerrin's existence as an artist. Did not realize that was him.
Yeah, we know. And again, like, I got this song, like, I'd heard this song, I don't know how many times, but I downloaded it for the first time, like, when I was at college and uni in, like, the LimeWire age, where things could be, like, labeled as anything. So for years, I was convinced that this was Bob Marley. Because I downloaded when I went on LimeWire, I went, don't worry, don't be happy. Like, half the hits came up as Bob Marley, Bob Marley, Bob Marley. I was like, it must be Bob Marley. Dish.
Amazing. I totally remember those days. I had LimeWire. I had like Kazaa.
Kazaa, yeah.
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely guilty of the Napster, LimeWire, Kazaa age.
Yeah.
You know, I actually consumed more TV, I would say, than music in those days via those platforms. But yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I was like downloading movies, TV shows.
Did you get into Trailer Park Boys ever? Did you ever watch Trailer Park Boys?
Bits of Trailer Park Boys. What else was I watching at that kind of time? Like Jackass.
Yep. Yep. Trailer Park Boys was a big one for me for whatever reason with the Kazaa. I remember that. Hopefully no one sees this video and comes for me and arrests me for copyright infringement. I promise I don't have any of those episodes on my hard drive anymore.
I swear.
That I know of. Yeah.
That I know of.
Yeah. There may be an external drive somewhere deep in the recesses of my storage, but let's just say for the sake of it that they don't exist.
Sure. Yeah, let's roll with that. And let's continue to roll through time because
oh my gosh, this is iconic. I'm so pleased that you pulled this up.
Like, this is just like songs I remember just bouncing around to idiotically, like as a kid.
Oh, this is amazing, dude. Literally not 2 weeks ago, this came up somehow with my wife, and my wife's a year older than me.
Yeah, yeah.
And all I could think of was "Pissing the Night Away" or whatever.
Yeah,
and she literally, and I thought of Tub Thumping, which is like very strange. I got that much. I was like, tub thumping. I'm pretty sure, like and then she's like, Chumbawamba? Like literally, I just pulled it out of thin air. I was like, that's incredible.
And this is the weird one as well, because like neither of those things have anything to do with what's happening in the track. Like
it's bizarre. Like these songs that just went massive. I mean, this song played, I don't know about over there, but on the radio just 100 times a day.
I mean, didn't we bring this to you guys? Isn't this our doing?
Oh, it is, right? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Is it
I'm pretty sure Chumbawamba are a UK English rock band. Yeah.
There you go.
Which is so actually, like, I'm more impressed that it made it to you.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, it played on the radio. I mean, around this time, I don't even know what year did this come out.
This was 97. Yeah, 97. So I would have been 12.
Yeah, same. So I mean, 12 years old. I was listening to a lot of the radio. It was like this song and that, like that. I love you always, forever, near and far, closer together everywhere. Whatever, I forget that artist's name, and I think someone covered it recently. But that song was on. Tub thumping was on. I mean, oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing.
All right, let's get into tub thumping then. Count us in.
Love it. 3, 2, 1, play.
Go.
Injected
with a poison.
I'll get knocked down.
Wow. Just an era, right? I mean, everything from just like thinking about like Oasis and the Verve and like all these bands, 90s band, and just the look of that video, it's just like Train Spotting or something, you know, it's like, it's just that look, you know, and the music, it's like crazy to think like all the bands sonically, even if you were like Smashing Pumpkins or you were U2 or you were like Chumbawamba, like that process, like digital guitar sound and like, also the song has 2 parts, right? It got to 1:47 and I was like, I don't even know where it goes from here. We've heard like, and I was like kind of, my wife and I were debating like, because she was saying the Pissing the Night Away part is the chorus. And I was like, I don't know, I always thought that was the verse, but it's the same lyrics.
It's kind of bridge.
Like a bridge, right? And it kind of goes to this bridge like 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And then I totally forgot about the horn solo. I'm like,
oh
there must
yeah.
have been somebody that's like, the song must have been 2 minutes, and somebody's like, wait, we got to make it 3.
We got to make it longer.
Like, well, let's do like a vaguely ska horn arrangement or something. It's like, it was like all these things. Like, I mean, I'd have never heard another single Chumbawamba song. Do you know? Did they have any followers?
They had a whole album. Like,
I was gonna say they must have like actual.
Like this
actual
came out
album.
with a whole album, but like this was the one. This is the one that made it on the radio, and apparently the only one. Yeah.
Literally, that's hilarious.
Yeah, wow. And I always remember like BBC would do like these for like Saturday morning cartoon shows, and they'd like take a song that was popular in the charts at the time and like mash up clips of the cartoons over it as like a cartoon music video.
Yeah.
And this was one that I can remember like vividly, like Spider-Man, the animated series, and Ace Ventura, and I can't like those definitely, and a few others like The Mask, and just like Rugrats and stuff like that. All just
Rugrats
cut up over this song, and like again, like it's so repetitive. At 12 years old, I wasn't thinking about the whiskey drink and the lager drinks. I was like, I get knocked down, I get up again.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. I remember at some point thinking about those. Like, drinks a whiskey drink, drinks a lager drink, drinks a cider drink, and I was like, it's just hilarious. And also this, yeah, right. I'm like all these drinks, and then seeing the video in that setting, and it's just funny how bizarre things were in the 90s. Like when it goes to the Pissing the Night Away and she's just staring with this weird, creepy look. And it's like, wow, I don't know. Things were just weird in the 90s and people just went with it.
Oh yeah, people went with it. But at least Chumbawamba, like with that album, they had other songs on the album. Track number 5 is been put in the number 5 slot for, well, you'll see when you click on the link. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so track number 5 had to be Mambo number 5.
Amazing. Yes. Oh my gosh.
We'll talk about this album once we get through this. Let's get into Mambo number 5 on your countdown from 3, my good sir.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5. One, two, three, four, five. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The boys say they want some gin and juice, but I really don't wanna be a buzz like I had last week. I must stay deep, cause talk is cheap. I like Angela, Pamela, Sandra, and Rita. And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. Mambo number 5. Jump up and down and move it all around. Shake your hand to the sound, put your hands on the ground. Take one step left and one step right. One to the front and one to the side. Clap your hands once and clap your hands twice. And if it looks like this, then you're doing it. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long. Trumpet, the trumpet. Mambo number 5. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need. of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. I am all to fall in love with a girl like you. 'Cause you can't run, you can't hide, you and me gonna touch the sky. Mambo number 5.
I love it.
Wow, I had never seen that video either.
Yes,
That's
another one.
wild.
Excellent.
So many.
Let's talk about the video then
Wow.
before we talk about this. Before we talk about the album, because that video, like this song came out in '99, end of '99 to start of 2000, depending on where you were territory wise. So I was like 14, turning 15. So I was going from like early teens, like boyish boy, like girls are stupid, to this song and that video going, there's something going on down there. I don't understand.
Yeah,
The
right.
girls might be all right.
Right? Wow.
Girls are okay.
Yeah, no, totally. It's so funny too, because it's just like never seen that video. Again, like I said, never seen that video. So it's interesting. And it's so interesting to see the archival footage too. Like that was an interesting choice at that time. And also I kept thinking simultaneously with like the video musically is like, is that a sample? Is that whole horn section part a sample from like the 40s or the 50s or the 30s? Or is this actually, was it actually
20s? 20s
maybe 20s, yeah. Or was it, I mean, it must be, but I don't know.
Swing era. But I don't know. I can't answer that question. But this is the thing. That was the version of the song that made it to the radio.
Yeah.
When you buy the album, there are like 8 other versions of this song and like barely any other tracks. The album had like, can I find the album? Lou Bega album.
Like it's all remixes and like alternate
the
versions and stuff.
Lou Bega. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me.
Lou Bega. I mean, again, if you had said who did Mambo number 5, I would have said, I don't know, Ricky Martin. Like, I know it's not Ricky Martin, but like, I wouldn't have been able to pull Lou Bega, you know?
Yeah, because on that, the album was literally called A Little Bit of Mambo.
Wow.
And it had several remixes of Mambo number 5 on it. Oh, man.
It's like, but like, look, when something works, it's like, hey, it works. And like,
oh, yeah.
it's bizarre, but I mean, gosh, like it's still this. I mean, this video has 349 million plays.
Yeah, man.
You know, so it's like,
it's got that little like dance breakdown.
Yeah, it's got all these instrumentals. Because this is the thing. Again, when it gets to 2 minutes or whatever, I'm like, where does the song go from here?
Right.
And then it's just like a bit of instrumental, and then let's just do it again, and it's just like the chorus again. There's like
it's just repetitive and catchy.
Yeah, and there's like surprisingly few lyrics. I mean, if you look at the lyrics, because I've been reading the lyrics just because I've never read the lyrics to any of these songs. It's like, okay, I mean, there's some lyrics there, but it's really just a little bit of Monica. Like that's the part that sticks with everybody. You know, no one's remembering the part about beer bust. Like I had last week, I must stay deep as talk is cheap. I'm like, I mean, look,
the only other bit you might remember is like the dance instructions, like in that second verse: jump up, jump down, and move it on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I'll self-admittedly was not the kid at the time who was listening to like all the verses.
Oh no. Really like I was like, I could tune into a song, like rap and follow it along, but this wasn't that. This was like, I like the sound, I like the music, and I think I like girls now.
Right. Exactly.
But from a song that was brought on by its chorus and made more popular by the dance to a song that's all about the dance, let's go into what's the last on our list for right now. On link number 6. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
All right. I will count us in from 3 to 2 to 1. Play.
Oh my god.
We got nailed this dance by the end of this video.
I am not trying to seduce you.
When I dance, they call me Macarena, and the boys they say que soy buena. They all want me, they can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me. Move with me, chant with me, and if you're good, I'll take you home with me.
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Now don't you worry about my boyfriend, the boy whose name is Vitorino. I don't want him, couldn't stand him, he was no good, so I... Now, come on.
Yeah, can't say that on the radio.
He was out of town, and his two friends were so fine.
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Come and find me, my name is Macarena. Always at the party con las chicas que son buenas. Come join me, dance with me, and all you fellas chant along with me.
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Wow. Talk about a format change. Just for fun, I just was looking it up on Spotify. It says Bayside Boys Remix on this video, and I thought, once again, like, I swear that would be a 2-minute song and it came out in 2021.
Right.
You know, and I looked on Spotify, the full, so that version's 342 or whatever. The Spotify full version is 409. I'm like, what? Like, what do you need 20 more seconds?
What did you do with the other 30 seconds? They did the
That's
Macarena
it,
again.
like, I mean, look, and like these guys, I mean, just hilarious, but amazing, like different era where every song, I guess, on the radio had to be 3.5 minutes. I mean, that was like the format, I guess.
That was the format, yeah.
So there's, now it's like, if your song's over 3 minutes, like you better have something to say.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the Spotify era we're in, people aren't going to make it past 2 minutes anyway.
Right.
But I guess for programming, they're like, well, and on the radio, you've got 45 minutes of programming for an hour or whatever. You got to, every song's got to be X length or whatever.
Yeah, because you know you got to have like an intro, probably a 45-second advert somewhere, like the DJ do his plugs, and then you got 3.5 minutes of music.
It's, dude, crazy. Takes me back. And I actually had seen this video, and it's just so funny. These two old dudes, like, just doing it. I was trying to picture them on stage. I was trying to picture like when they played like a show, like a radio festival or something, and they show up in their suits, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Macarena!" Like,
it's got to be like seeing Rob Stewart live now, just like that clip in South Park, and he just comes on stage like, "Yeah, poopy."
Mr. Rod, do you think I'm sexy, Stewart?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Whoa, man.
Pooped them.
yeah, exactly. Like, so bizarre, the kinds of artists that made it. You know, it's like this, and you've got this, you know, the William Hungs of the world, or whoever, you know.
And like these songs are so catchy. Like we've had an absolute vibe this afternoon. Each one of these, it seems maddening that this was their one and done and that they didn't come back for.
They're all smashing. They're so catchy. They're so memorable. They're all iconic in their own way. And it's crazy to think that a song, each one of these songs is this big and still, like you said, managed to be one hit.
I mean, there were some honorable mentions that I got to throw out. Like, you know, like going back to the 50s and 60s, the one that I could have plucked out that would have made the list today was Lollipop.
Okay.
Lollipop, 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 lollipop.
Totally. Yeah.
Bittersweet Symphony.
Oh my god.
Teenage Dirtbag. Baby Cakes. Fuck You Right Back. Me and Mrs. Jones. To tie into what's been going on in the world the last few days, kind of only in a twisted way. My Sharona or Damn Corona.
Right.
Pass the Dutchie on the left hand side. It's Raining Men. 99 Red Balloons. You know, and there are so many on this list. The Pretenders. I would walk Proclaimers. I would walk 500 miles.
This song, it's the best song in the world. It's the only song I like. Just kidding. Tape's been stuck in the player for like 2 years. Better than nothing, though. I am so sick of this song. Don't worry, it comes around again. What do you mean? Just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles and falls down at your door.
Yes. See, again, I wouldn't have been able to tell you what they were called, but I'm sure as hell know the song.
And again, we did that. That's a Scottish brothers duo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're either sorry or you're welcome, depending on your stance on that track. But this has brought me to a realization that there are so many banging one-hit wonders that I think from this week going forward, I might have to slide in a one-hit wonder of the week.
There you go. Yes. New bit, new segment. I love it.
What's the one-hit wonder of the week? Whilst we're on the topic, are there any favorite one-hit wonders of yours that we haven't touched on today?
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Man, I'm totally stumped. Can I submit a recommendation for one of the week after we get off the call? Okay. Because I want to do the dive. I want to do the deep dive because I know they're there. I mean, you hit on some epic ones from our collective sort of youth, adolescent, childhood that was like bang on every single one. But yeah, I'm gonna dig into that a little bit. I'll send you over hopefully some ringers as options.
Send me over some ringers, and the first one of those will be playing right there.
How bizarre! How bizarre! How bizarre!
Ooh baby, it's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. Every time I look around. 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 It's in my face. It's in my face.
Amazing.
And that was insert track name here.
How bizarre. Yeah.
Bye. So that brings our little journey through the brief history of one-hit wonders to a close. How do you feel?
I feel refreshed. I feel energized. I feel kind of old because those songs mostly came out a long time ago. I'm like, I'm not getting any younger, but yeah, it's like it puts a different spin on music and like the industry and like thinking about what things really popped and how bizarre some of them were at the time, but nobody cared because, like you said, they were just undeniably catchy and it didn't matter. So it's like that also gives me hope, not to like be a part of one hit wonders, but just to go, you never know what's gonna break through.
Hell, man! If we could sneak Which Me into that conversation, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's like you just never know the format of what's going to be a hit, still to this day. Like, I think that's a beautiful thing about it. Like, it's always worth making the best thing you can and putting it out.
Hell yeah.
You never know where the audience, like for your track, it's like you never know where the audience is going to be, who's going to connect, who's going to really resonate, where it's going to, you know what I mean? Like, the internet's such a global thing too. It's like it could be a smash anywhere.
Yeah.
Or you could build a fan base in Croatia or something around that song.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no way of knowing. And that's like the beautiful thing, I guess, about the internet and about the way music just reaches. And it is like a language that's, so shared and so global. It's like such a cool thing.
Macarena is a perfect example of that. Like, half of the song's not even in English, and it's one of the most popular songs of the 90s.
Totally.
And like still in discos and clubs today, you will find a DJ that will play the Macarena, and drunk people everywhere will stop and do this.
They'll get up and dance and do it. Everybody knows it. Like, that's how you know you've made an impact. Is not only does everyone know the song, but everybody knows
everyone knows the dance.
Like,
do you have a favorite from the half dozen we put in our ears this evening?
Ooh, I think the one that's gonna stick with me the most is just because the video is the "Don't Worry, Be Happy" Bobby McFerrin.
Awesome. Seeing that video for the first time now, that was a trip.
Whew, that blew my mind for sure. There are some solid ones, but that is also how simple that song is too.
Right. I think that's what got me when I was a kid. Like, you don't need to remember the words for most of it. It's whistling and like anyone can translate to that and remember that. And like, if you do speak English, the message is so simple. Don't worry, just be happy.
So good. Oh, such a good song. I love it.
Well, it's been an absolute blast and a laugh this afternoon, checking out the brief history of ups and downs of one hit wonders. Next week, I'll be doing something next week. I might be talking to Danny about music and movies. We'll see how that goes. I might also be talking to Johnny about music and video games. One of those things will happen. You'll see it right here on your screen. That's another story for another day. Until then, I love you all. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. But for right now, Pie's out. So peace out and lights out.